Ooh, DuckTales. What more can I say? It was one of the most popular cartoons ever back in 1987. And what comes a popular cartoon? A video game, of course. It was released back in 1989 on the NES and later 1990 on the Game Boy. But today I'm going to be reviewing the Game Boy version because that's the only one I have, of course. So immediately as you start up the game, you're literally greeted with the title screen. As you start that, you could choose between 5 levels. It's kind of similar to Mega Man. And yes, you could choose it by your choice, so let's pick the first one. So you can immediately notice that DuckTales is a typical side-scroller. Scrooge's main weapon is his cane. You can pogo on enemies and also hit objects around to defeat the enemies too. And also you could collect money too. But if you're thinking about going on a no money hunting spree, you can get the bad ending, which is kinda bad. And yes, I know I'm using the NES one, but this was the only footage I could find on YouTube. Oh, also, there are going to be times where you're going to be seeing Launchpad a lot throughout the stages, and he's going to be asking you, do you want to lift back to Duckburg? Which immediately will take you back to the menu where you can select other levels. If you don't like the one that you're at, you can just do that instead then, and he'll give you a lift back. It's kind of similar to Mega Man. Once you lose all your lives, you're either given the choice to either continue, or either select another stage. At the end of each level, you're going to be facing a boss. After you defeat that boss, you can get a treasure item from them. And then you can move on to the next stage by your choice. Alright, so on to one of the most memorable stages ever. If you've ever played the NES version of this game or the Game Boy version of this game, you might remember this one, because the music is very, very memorable on this one. So you talk to one of the characters from the cartoon show, and they say one of the nephews have been kidnapped, so you have to rescue, like for instance, Huey, and then Huey will thank you, and then he'll give you a clue to help you out throughout your adventure to complete the stage, you know, just to get to the stage, So that's one thing I love about this stage is the fact that these mirrors act as portals. You could jump on them and they teleport you to different parts of the stage. Honestly, I kind of found this complicated on the NES one because the stage was big on that one, but on this Game Boy one, it's kind of short, I guess. But if you remember the layout of this one, it should be no problem. Alright, so as you get to the end of the stage, you face off with another boss, which is one of the most memorable characters ever, or I should say one of the most memorable villains ever in the DuckTales series, which is Magica D-Spell. She has magic and stuff, and she can turn into animals. So after you defeat her, you get her treasure item, and that way you can move on to the next stage by your choice. Alright, so on to the third stage. This is pretty much going to be the last stage I'm going to review, and then I'll move on to the last part, so I don't have to spoil the rest of the game. Anyways, the entrance is locked to the African mines, so you'll have to backtrack back to Transylvania and get the key in order to open the entrance to the African mines. One cool thing I like about this stage is the fact you can find hidden treasures. If I'm wrong, maybe you can find other treasures around the other stages too, but I can't remember, so let me know in the comment section below. Another cool thing I love about this stage is that you meet Mrs. Beakley here, and she can give you an infinite supply of health items to regenerate your HP, which is a very cool touch in this stage. So, yeah. Alright, so after you complete all 5 stages and get all the treasures, Dracula Duck steals it back from you. So you'll have to backtrack once again back to Transylvania to get the treasures back from him. Alright, so when you reach the end, you have the final showdown with Dracula Duck. After you defeat him, Magica D-Spell and Flintheart Glumgold show up out of nowhere, and they're gonna go after your treasure. So you'll have to climb the top of the rope to make it to the top before they do, or, Flintheart Glumgold will be the richest duck in the world, and you'll be, the non-richest duck in the world. So once you make it to that top, that makes the end of DuckTales. And that means you're the richest duck in the world, and not Flintheart Glumgold. So that marks the end of the DuckTales game for the Game Boy. Yeah. That's awesome. Alright, so that's the end of this DuckTales review. So yeah, this is a pretty decent game. It's pretty cool that it captures like the NES game, sorta in a way. But the stages are sorta short, but it's still a cool game. Honestly, I kinda might recommend the Game Boy version since the pogo stick is very easy to use. And on the NES one, it's not really that easy to use hardly. But if you want more challenge, I recommend the NES one. If you want an easier version of DuckTales, I recommend you play the Game Boy version. Or if you just want an update version, I recommend you get the remastered version. Alright guys, that marks the end for this review. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. This was pretty hard to do. But let me know if there was some false information I said about this game, like about in the levels and stuff. But you guys will let me know in the comment section below, because I'm pretty sure you guys played this game before, back in your childhood days. So let me know if I should do more videos on this, and